The Australia Cup final is upon us. Macarthur FC, Melbourne Victory in the ultimate decider. This has been a thoroughly enjoyable Australia Cup campaign in 2024, and we're finally down to the final two teams. Drop your predictions and thoughts on this matchup in the comment section. We'd love to get your guys' opinions. But let's talk about this matchup and who I think will win. Of course, first of all, we have to look at the semi-final matchups from this past weekend. A couple really entertaining semi-finals and two very different semi-finals in a way as well. Melbourne Victory defeating Adelaide United 1-0. It was a fascinating match though I thought the Reds were really impressive in this match. The way that they pressed high, they applied the pressure on Melbourne Victory right from the get-go and created some fantastic opportunities. I think the thing that really let the Reds down in the end was the fact that they lacked having that recognised striker up top. Young Ryan White was deployed in the striker position, but he is more of a natural midfielder. They were missing Archie Goodwin, Luka Ivanovic in that forward position, but played a really solid game overall, and I think deserved maybe at least to send the game to extra time. But for Melbourne Victory, the way they dug deep and especially looked really dangerous on the counter-attack. When they did get the ball and they did break forward and got their opportunities, they did test James Delianov a few times throughout the match as well. And the goal finally coming at the end from young Jordi Valedon, scoring his first Melbourne Victory goal. An absolute cracker from long range too. Fantastic strike from Valedon. And Melbourne Victory going through to the Australia Cup final. And a real contrast now when we look at the other semi-final. Macarthur FC defeating South Melbourne again with a 1-0 scoreline. But this match was really tight, was really cagey, limited opportunities for both teams. In fact, it was South Melbourne who had a really good start to this game. They created some fantastic chances in the opening 15 minutes. Max Mikler with a couple of shots on target really early on as well. And South Melbourne was set up so well defensively. They really nullified Macarthur's attack and didn't allow the likes of Valerie Germain, Marin Yakalish, these guys to create opportunities in front of goal. Macarthur didn't rack up many shots by the end of the game overall, but it finally came at the end from the penalty spot, Valerie Germain. For me, it was a penalty. A lot of varying opinions about that referee call. For me, it was a penalty. He was taken out of play. Valerie Germain makes no mistake from the penalty spot. But obviously a huge talking point at the end of the game is that sending off of Valerie Germain, picking up another yellow card. It's a crazy decision to make a challenge like that, especially considering it's way up the other end of the pitch as well. It was just completely unnecessary from Valerie Germain. But now the French striker is going to miss the final, which is a huge blow for Macarthur and certainly affects their chances in this game. Let's talk about this matchup and who it does favour. Of course, we have to look back at the Australia Cup run so far for both of these teams. For Melbourne Victory, it's been so impressive. They've only conceded one goal in this whole cup run so far. 4-1 against Lambton Jaffers, 4-0 against both NWO Spirit and then Moreton City Excelsior, and then just the 1-0 win against Adelaide United. For Macarthur SC, 2-1 against O'Connor Knights from the ACT. They had that big 4-3 victory over Newcastle Jets in the round of 16. Quarterfinals saw the Bulls defeat Oakley Cannons 1-0, and then South Melbourne in the semi-finals 1-0 as well. So a couple of 1-0 victories. And for the third consecutive weekend, an away trip to Melbourne. Personally, I just want to say, I think it's a real shame that Macarthur aren't hosting this game. Huge opportunity for a young club like Macarthur, who are still building their fan base, to host a cup final. And I think it would have been great for them to host it at their home stadium, Campbelltown Stadium. A huge match to bring fans along, especially leading up into the A-League season, create some excitement around Macarthur, this club who are still very, very young. But the final, of course, is being played at AAMI Park, the home of Melbourne Victory, and that does favour Melbourne Victory, despite the fact that when we look back at these past meetings between these two clubs, Macarthur have won a couple times away to Melbourne Victory. Most recently, towards the end of last season, Macarthur picking up a 1-0 victory at AAMI Park. Earlier on last season as well, a 1-1 draw between the two sides. Melbourne Victory have won a handful of games throughout the history of these two teams meeting, though. I think for Victory, you do have to back them, considering that they are the home side. They were really tested by Adelaide United, and I think Victory will struggle to break down Macarthur SC in this game. I mean, both these sides have really, really strong defences. But that's something that's really impressed from, Macarthur's point of view in those last couple of matches. Those clean sheets against Oakley Cannons, against South Melbourne. Two of those games where they were really tested. And for me, it's that centre-back partnership of Ustkok and Yerman, who's been really solid for the past couple of games. And their goalkeeper as well, Philip Curto. He could be the real key player for Macarthur in this game. If he can keep them in the match throughout at least 90 minutes, Macarthur have a chance to win yet again another Australia Cup. We should mention as well, of course, Australia Cup winners, both of these teams here. Melbourne Victory winning the Australia Cup 2021, Macarthur FC winning the Australia Cup 2022. And of course, the winner of this match will go through to feature in next year's Asian Champions League 2 competition. Can Melbourne Victory return to Asian football football? Or will Macarthur FC return to the competition that they featured in last season as well? For my players to watch, for me, it is Philip Koto. I think the goalkeeper, he's just so important for Macarthur FC. And I don't often talk about goalkeepers as players to watch, but he is so integral in this game, especially without Valerie Germain. You know, they're maybe not going to be able to create as many opportunities up front. It's a huge blow, and there's question marks in terms of who plays in that forward position now for Macarthur this weekend. But Philip Koto, if he can keep them in the game, that's going to be huge for Macarthur FC. And for Melbourne Victory, there's a few players that we can talk about, but because I'm highlighting Philip Koto, I'm going to go for Melbourne Victory striker Nikos Vergos. He's already picked up 3 goals in this Australia Cup run, made an instant impact at his new club. It's been fascinating seeing the fact that Vergos has been starting these matches ahead of an experienced A-League striker like Bruno Fornaroli. And that's the thing for the Bulls as well. They have to contest with the strength of Melbourne Victory's bench. Not just their quality starting line, but they've got the likes of Renan Piscopo, who made an impact in the semi-final, Bruno Fornaroli, Jean Rees as well. So many options that Patrick Kisnorbo has at his disposal for this final match. For my final score prediction, though, I'm going 2-1 to Melbourne Victory. I think the home advantage will play a massive factor. It will be a tight game. It could well go to extra time, but I'm going 2-1 to Melbourne Victory. It is set up to be a really tantalising matchup. I'm excited to see how these two teams go head-to-head against each other. I think both teams deserve to get to the final. They've been fantastic throughout this Australia Cup run. And of course, this is the perfect setup for the A-League season, which is just a few weeks away now. And we will be doing a live watch-along for the match this Sunday evening. So make sure to join us here as we watch the match live. Join in the discussion with fellow fans. We'd love to see you guys there for the live stream this Sunday evening for the Australia Cup final. Who's winning it? Let me know in the comments. Melbourne Victory or Macarthur FC? Will it go to extra time? Will it go to penalties? Drop your scoreline in the chat. Thanks very much for tuning into these Australia Cup predictions videos throughout the past couple of months. My name is Lockie, this is Coastal Football. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next one.